What is happening, guys? Welcome back. So yet another episode on the Mk1 Golf. Now, this one we're going to try and do what I was doing when I managed to damage my hand. It's much better now, by the way. Been back to the doctor's, had it redressed, cleaned out, whatever, and it's looking a hell of a lot better. We're very, very lucky. Don't mess around with grinders, kids. They're not toys. So we're going to try and look at getting these chassis notches sorted. Now, having not done what I was doing, which was going gung-ho on it and, yeah, getting all excited and drilling holes and using what I've got, I've decided that the hole saw that I've used and the tube that I've got, it's too big a gap. I don't like it. I don't like how much I've got to try and weld up. So, look that in there. It's just too big. I don't like it. So, I've ordered some new tube. Apparently it's being delivered today. I'm waiting for it to appear. So we're going to try and do something else, so as to not waste time too much. Sorry if you can hear that. The roof, it's absolutely hammering it down. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on this, but I don't really think I've got another option. I want to do what I want to do, but I'm not sure about the way that I'm doing it. I think it's right. I think it looks okay. But basically, this back corner here, where you've got the join from the new rear panel onto the rear quarter, there is a large gap down here that isn't consistent, doesn't look the nicest, and I'm not a huge fan of. This side is even worse, so small gap here and huge gap up here. So I want, if you're welding on anything, get yourself some magnets, kids. Absolutely brilliant. Make your life a hell of a lot easier. So I want to blend these. I've seen a few images online of people that have blended these on their cars, and we're going to blend it up to this line here where the light goes, because the light will cover that, and we're going to blend all of that in so it's flush, solid, whatever. Now, you could just layer it with filler, clag it all full of filler and sand it off, but you'd have a lot of filler, and there's a part of me that would worry that would crack over time. So what I've done to get these very strong magnets off is I've cut a piece of metal to the shape of this that we're going to weld this side and then tap in and weld to that side of the car. Now, yes, we're welding more material on to here, but with a bit of paper, you're probably not going to be able to see, but with a piece of paper on and pulled flat to that quarter and onto the rear, that piece of metal is bridging that gap, and it's sort of set back really quite well. That's why it tapers and it's different sizes all the way down. So my thought with that is we weld it on both sides, get it looking bang on, skim a filler over it, and we're not clagging the whole thing full of filler. It's going to be solid and it's not going to crack, hopefully. Up here we'll probably make something for here, or we might just try and plug it. But anyway, that's what I'm going to do. I'm still not 100% confident or happy with it not being a bit of a bodge, I suppose, but I think it'll look nice. So that's what we're going to do. Stop waffling. Let's try and sort it. there we go then. After a bit of work and a bit of welding, these back corners are sorted now. Yes, they need an amount of filler work, but what we've done in putting that in has alleviated the need for a lot of filler. We still need a bit of filler, but yeah, that back corner's done. We've welded up here as well. The other back light I've cracked. This one sits and looks quite nice. Just need to re-seam seal down here. This side, again, all done, welded on, bit of filler on there and up here, and all smoothed in, and it'll look nice. This light I've cracked, so I can't really see the corner of it, but I think I've about got it right. So that's them bits done. And then when I did that, I decided that we'd jump on with what I was doing when I out in hand. And I've done this chassis notch on this side already, which, yeah, looks pretty good. Does what it needs to do. Pretty clean on the outside, pretty clean on the inside. And yeah, it'll just allow the drive shaft to come up on a bit of an angle and let the car go a bit lower. So we now need to do that side. So, chassis notching. I don't think I've explained what it is or why I'm sort of doing it. Basically, what we're going to do is use a hole saw to cut through this chassis leg here, which will give us half round. We'll then cut a piece of tube that we then weld in to here, as you've seen on the other side, which then enables the drive shaft to, instead of hitting the chassis leg, it gives it a little bit more room to come up, so that when we've got the car on air ride, instead of the centre of the wheel having to be here, centre of the wheel can be up here, so it sits lower. You're not going to get any knocking issues for driving low or parking low, and you're not going to get anything sitting on anything that it's not supposed to. So yeah, that's why we're doing it. Can't quite afford to put it on air yet, but we're trying to plan in so that if I can afford to bag it at the end, everything's there. We're not going to go cutting into a freshly painted chassis. So first thing I'm going to do is put the hole saw through, which before I took the engine out and took all the suspension off, I put the drive shaft in, lifted it up, found the centre point, marked either side of where the drive shaft wanted to be. I've then come in and found the centre, and we're going to put the drill just up on a bit of flat land somewhere there, and then we'll send that drill straight through the chassis leg to drill it out. Clean all the edges up, put a bit of primer on, weld free primer, cut the tube to the right shape, weld it in, clean it back, prime it, job done. Right, let's get on. Right, there's the hole drilled through, straight through now. See, we've drilled through both skins, and we had to cut bits off because the depth of the hole saw was not as deep as the chassis rail. I've then offered this tube in, and I've drawn these lines on here, so that is the bit that we want to then weld into the car. So I'm going to set this over to the bench, cut that out carefully, because that is what snagged on the blade and jumped out and cut my hand. I'm trying doing this the last time, so be very, very careful. Probably best to cut it sort of as straight as you can, oversized, put it in the car, and then grind it back, really. But yeah, get this sorted out, and then we've got the piece, we'll offer it all in the car, then we can clean everything up, prime everything, and then get it welded in, cleaned up, dressed, and that is another bit done. There we go, chassis notch done this side, looking nice. And that side as well, all welded, all dressed, looking nice. That one's sorted, that one's sorted. And we've now got a clear line through for the drive shaft so that we can, yeah, get this car, hopefully, get these bits here sitting somewhere near to the floor. So that's how I did the chassis notches and deleted those seams from the back of the car because my fitting of the rear panel wasn't the best. I don't think they're going to look that bad or that odd. I quite like the look of the cars I've seen online. They've had them deleted. So yeah, that's them bits done. Not sure what we're going to do in the next one. I've got loads of other little bits and bobs to do to hopefully get this car sorted. My plan now is I want the underneath of the car seam sealed and Gravitexed by Christmas. That's 2-3 weeks, I think, which should be doable. I mean, people that do this for a living are saying, what are you messing around at? Hurry up. But yeah, hopefully we'll have it seam sealed and Gravitexed by Christmas. But we should leave this one there then, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Till next time, enjoy.